Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to the garden. Today's video I'm just going to show you a couple of the plants that were damaged by the high winds that we've been receiving from Storm Amy. Unfortunately we had around about sort of 70 plus mile an hour winds, gusts coming through the garden throughout the past couple days, and it has actually affected and damaged a couple plants in the garden. You just see here as we walk around, you know, the wind is still sort of out. This golden laburnum, this actually got knocked over completely. You can see I've stacked some rocks just behind it to try and prop it up. Hopefully we can save this tree. Unfortunately it was kind of down on the fence for a little while. This was about a week ago that this one went down in the previous winds from the storm before. As we just come around here, and apologies on the mess guys, I've been doing a lot of other projects as we come through here. Just coming down this way, the first one to show you that's taken a bit of a hit. I just come up into here. You can just see the ensete morelli has fallen over. And fortunately, this is the smaller of the two large ones that I've got here. Let's come back around this way just to show you. Come down this way. It's a little hard to see with all the plants. But yeah, if we come into here now, you can just see we're fully knocked over. Now, I mean, fortunately, we're at the end of the year, coming towards it. We've only got about a month or two left, probably, of the season before this would come in anyway. So my thoughts are probably to prop this up to see if I can just kind of stabilize it in the ground. It doesn't look like the pseudostem has been broken, fortunately. But with that said, yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance when something like that gets knocked down. It's interesting to see, and I'll show you in a second, the Musa basjoo right behind it has been completely unaffected. And interestingly as well, if you take a look at the leaves on this, you would probably expect to see a lot more kind of tears and leaf damage. So it's interesting, this must have taken quite a significant gust and it just got knocked in one. As we come down here, one of our new Musa basjoo this year, you can see this one here right next to it. Completely fine, no shredded leaves, looking quite good actually for the thought that it's been going through that sort of wind gusts. But yeah, a bit of a shame that's gotten knocked over, but again, it doesn't look like it's damaged the plant or the pseudostem. Now we'll just show you the kind of bigger damage here as we come down this way. Try and get out of the way of the bamboo. You just see our large ensete morelli really torn up here. Same Musa basjoo is just ribbons now. I've been seeing on a lot of the groups. I think a lot of people have been experiencing this with your plants in sort of high winds, and obviously, you know, when it comes down to it, of course, you try and plant these into a sort of sheltered spot. To hopefully reduce the damage that you get, similar to that little one you've just seen there. But in some cases we can't, you know, it's going to be exposed where it is, especially when it puts on a large height. One good thing about the Musa basjoo plant is that the shredding is more of a mechanism of the plant to kind of save the pseudostem or the large stems at the bottom. Now, let's say, for example, the wind has snapped the stem, something like that. It's not the end of the world. Unless it's completely uprooted, we should still be able to save that plant, even if it has completely snapped the pseudostem down there. For myself, I'm going to be trimming off a lot of the excess leaves here, as we are going to be doing that for winter protection anyway. You know, I'm just going to get a bit of a head start. I'm not going to get everything off, but I'll take off a majority of it now. Now that it's kind of been torn to shreds. The only annoying thing is when it does shred the leaves, the other damage that it can cause the plant is, of course, on the photosynthesis side. You know, the leaves aren't going to be able to produce the same amount of energy when they're kind of split and torn as they would when it's a full leaf. So it's kind of one thing to kind of note that, yes, they may look awful, but it should still survive for going forward. Now, something like the ensete, again, this is going to be coming in for the winter soon anyway, so what I'll be doing is kind of starting the trim back. It's an unfortunate one. There's nothing I can really do other than trim a couple of the lower leaves off and just kind of let it slowly grow for the end of the year here. Now, one thing I would suggest if you are trimming off any of the damaged leaves is to save these. We can use these as mulch. So this is the kind of time of year when we are starting to think about mulching our beds, getting prepared for winter. Now, with that said, of course, when we are using the leaves as mulch, that will provide nutrients back into the ground for next year. and I do find, you know, certainly with the banana leaves, really, really good mulch. Good protection as well for the ground. Does seem to help keep the temperature of the soil a little bit warmer, and prevent some of the frost getting as far down into the soil. Some things to think about. I mean, with the Musa basjoo, this is going to be a cold hardy variety, so these can take typically down to about minus 20 degrees C in the ground. Now that is from the corm level, so from your kind of roots. If you do protect it, and I will be putting out a protection video soon when we do come to that time, you'll see exactly how we get these through to save the height of the stem, which will provide us kind of a great head start for the beginning of the year. We get a bit of a shame with it looking like this though at the moment. I mean, I would say overall, you know, the storm versus the garden, I think the garden has won, but we have taken a few casualties here. Bit of a shame. If you haven't seen my short of the bamboo in the high winds, certainly check that out. Just put that out recently. Pretty crazy how much these can bend and flex with the wind. Even in light winds now you can see. Really get quite a lot of motion, and the bamboo always provides a nice sound as well, I find, in wind. But yeah, always kind of worrying when we see these really high winds. Be interested to hear how your gardens have fared throughout this. Again, you know, these sort of storms are becoming somewhat more frequent, it seems, over the years, and it's a bit of a shame. I think when we want to grow the big leaf plants, you know, when we do get that wind, you know, within a day's time it can look like this, going from something that's pristine and pretty. So it's just something to think about when you are planting these. You know, bear in mind sort of protection and shelter, just as, again, as you saw from our little one over there, you know, that one got through absolutely unscathed, while these really look like streamers now. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, of course, as I say, you know, it's kind of part and parcel with the tropical gardening. Fortunately, Tetrapanix, the one we've transplanted, has done pretty well, considering we had to chop off majority of the leaves here. No damage on the leaves on this one, which is great to see. For the rest of the garden, I would say pretty much, you know, not much to really say. No real damage other than you can see Musa sycamensis. Yeah, that's taken a fair bit. Pretty much anything with big leaves in my garden has really taken a hit this year. But yeah, just with that said, of course, keep an eye out. There will be quite a bit of content coming out soon. Got some new ideas with a few other creators, which we may put into action at some point soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. Be interested to know your thoughts when it does come out. But with that said, of course, if you haven't checked out the friends of the channel, they'll be in the comments section below. If you're not part of our channel, certainly feel free to join. As mentioned in our previous video, we have just set up a dedicated Facebook page for Richard's UK Tropical Garden, so certainly jump along, follow on that. I do like to, the idea with that is going to be to kind of put out some brief bits of information, a few pictures of the garden, and also notify you when videos are coming out. A bit more context in the video as well for you. But you can see all the leaves in the pond, that's all I need to come out. But yeah, with that said, of course, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.